Alright everybody, welcome back to SuperNation.com, back here with another video, guys. Welcome back. Oh shit, that's my phone dropped there. I apologize in advance here, but guys, welcome back to our analytics predictions video. We're here every single week with this video, breaking down every single game. We also get to do picks against the spread, all that kind of stuff. So because I would already make sure to like, subscribe, and for me, make sure to join the Discord, links in the description. This video will be out a little bit later today. Just apologize in advance about that, but we'll be out a little bit later today. So like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like, subscribe button, join Discord, all NBA fantasy. Make sure you guys go check that out. Monday, you guys have until Monday to join that. So make sure you guys please do so over the weekend so we can get that started. Draft day will be on Monday if we do have enough players. So we'll see. So yeah, week 7 predictions over there to your left of the screen. You guys see my overall predictions for this season. Not too bad. Over under picks, I'm actually kind of surprised I'm even over 500 at that point. I'm 50 and 45 on that on the year. I mean, I'll take it. It's acceptable. Spread picks 49-44. Actually, my worst thing I'm actually doing so far this year, and that's not even that bad. So 5 games above 500 on that as well, and then regular picks record. I mean, I didn't really want to include the tie, but I just decided to do anyway. So regular picks record on 59, 33, and 1. And then if you look at the screen last week, I went 10-5 last week. I gotta quit with these 5 loss weeks, man. It's just really frustrating the hell out of me, dude. It's just every week it's just at least I'm getting 5 losses every single week. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to get out of that. It's pissed me off a little bit. Spread pick records, I went 6-9 last week. Not too good, not too shabby, but it was kind of tough picking against the spread last week. And then over under picks we went 9-6. So yeah, kind of surprised that spread picks was the worst thing I did out of last week. But yeah, but without further ado, guys, that's everything that you need to know for this weekend and for this week. And yeah, let's see what we got. Alright, before we get into anything here, we do have to look at our week 7 bye week teams. We have two teams here on the bye. It's the Buffalo Bills and it's the Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, every week we talk about each team. We're kind of in the position they are right now, and then we'll see them again next week. Buffalo was just off to a good start, 4-0. They're kind of cruising, and now they're on slugfest real quick. They lost the last 2 in a row. They got outplayed last week by the Falcons, and that was pretty disappointing to see. For the Buffalo Bills. So the good news is they got the bye week this week. They have some time to think about some things over the last 2 losses. Hopefully that isn't a trend that continues to go for them. But for right now, they're batting with the Patriots for that top spot of the division. So I think that division, I think it's going to come down to them too. So that's going to be very close, especially losing that first game at Buffalo. That's very important there. I think they lost that game. I think that's going to come. That could be something that could come back to bite them later on here. You look at Baltimore. Like I said, Baltimore, they're in a brutal spot. This is probably the worst spot they've been in who knows how long in years since they had Lamar Jackson. Probably even since before Lamar Jackson. I don't think they ever been this bad of a spot. They're 1-5, and I know their schedule gets lighter as it goes, but margin for error is just so small now. Like I just feel like Baltimore fucks up once. I just think if they fuck up one more time, I just think that they're pretty much screwed. So yeah, we'll see what we got, guys. Enjoy your bye week, and I guess we'll see you guys next week. But both of these 2 teams are kind of in some down spots right now. Alright, and on to the games here. First thing first, we have Thursday Night Football between the Steelers and the Bengals here. I think this is actually going to be a pretty interesting game here. You got a Steelers team who looks pretty damn good offensively. Well, I'm not going to say damn good. They've been a little bit consistent in that department too, but at least they're getting something going offensively now. And their defense is finally starting to pick it up. I think we saw that in their last week's win over the Browns. Their defense played probably the best defensive performance they played all season long. And then they're going to be playing against the Cincinnati Bengals squad, who's really been struggling as a play. Now, I'm not going to lie, Joe Flacco did look good moving the ball. And that's probably what the main thing for Pittsburgh is right now. Can you move the football? Can you do some things with the football? And I think that answer was yes. I think we've seen some good stuff out of them. But I know they lost to the lost to the Packers last week, but at least he looked a little bit motivated that way. But tonight's game here, I'm going to go the Steelers 23-20. I trust their team more. I trust their offense more. I trust their defense more. Even if their defense does play exactly as well as I think it will be in this one. Now, if the Bengals are going to win this game, then Joe Flacco has to put up like 2 touchdowns, maybe 230 passing yards, stuff like that. And this game does have like a little trap game scenario where I can see the Bengals winning, but at the same time, I just don't trust their defense. I think their defense is still shit. If you just look at the season, it just feels like teams can just do whatever they want to in the offense side of the ball against his defense, and that's normally not a good look for him. So this game here, I gotta go the Steelers, man. I said I trust Mike Tomlin, trust the crew more. Their offense should be able to do enough here to win. But there is a Thursday Night Football this year. It's been weird. I haven't totaled it up. I don't think I've been that good on Thursday Night Football yet this year. But like I said, the better team, the better coach team is going to win here. So I'm going to go with the Steelers over 44.5. That could go either way. Bet who you want to on that one, but I'm going to lean towards the over. And then both teams showed some good stuff offensively these last couple weeks. And then over Pittsburgh minus 5.5 could be a little risky. I can actually see Cincinnati covering this, but I'm not going to pick it. So I'm going to go with the Steelers here on Thursday Night Football. Alright, next up we have the Rams at the Jags, and this game could be a little tricky. I'm going to tell you this as a Rams fan. I'm not feeling too confident about this game. I really wasn't. But I am going to roll my boys here 21-17. I think this is going to be a lower scoring defensive battle here. Now I think I did get some more information on Puka. I think Puka is going to miss out this week, but I just realized that the Rams have a bye week next week, so it will kind of be smart if the Rams did bench Puka Nacua this game, knowing that you're playing against a good team anyway. I think it'll be more situational if you do bench Puka in this game. So I think it gives you. I know Puka and those are hard, so we can't really afford it like right now in the division, but I think it's smart. You play it safe. So if Puka is out for this game, I can see the reasoning why. And Jacksonville's missing some guys too. The star edge rushers out for this game, so we'll see. This game's scaring me for a couple of reasons as a Rams fan. One, because this is Jacksonville's second home. It's London, and Jacksonville actually performs pretty damn good in London. Two, I think Jacksonville's a really good team, and I think Jacksonville's defense is one of the best in football. I think they're leading the league in takeaways, apparently. And the Rams have not really looked that good. I'm not gonna say it looked as good, but they haven't looked as good as I thought they were on the offensive side of the ball. Like we're still waiting for the Rams to put up 4 consistent quarters together. But I believe in my guys. I believe in our front defense. I think we will give Trevor a little bit of a hard time back there. I actually do think both teams are going to do that. Give the quarterback a hard time here. I think for this game here, I think it's going to determine which quarterback you trust more, like to go out there and win the game in this situation. We saw some good stuff out of Trevor, like 2 weeks ago against the Chiefs. We saw some good stuff, but I'm gonna go with my boys here. I think we get it done here, 21-17. Defensive game, not really expecting too much scoring here. I feel pretty damn good about the under in this game, actually, with the under 44. Like I said, I think both defenses are playing really well right now, and both teams. Jacksonville hasn't really been that consistent offensively. Same thing as the Rams. Both teams' defenses are pretty damn good, so I'm actually feeling pretty good about the under in this game. And then Ram minus 2.5. Like I said, the only reason why you're picking the Jags there if you actually have them to win the game, or this is your 1-point game of the week. But this is not my 1-point game of the week. So 21-17. I think the Rams take care of business here in London before their bye week. But man, I as a Rams fan, I'm not feeling too confident about this game. I don't know why, but I do believe my boys at the end of the day will get it done. Alright, next up we have the Saints at the Bears. I'm thinking the Bears here. I'm gonna go 26-18. Sure, now team to team wise, I think the Bears are probably the more significantly the better team here. That's what I do think, and I don't think that's remarkably a decision. But the thing here, it's like scaring me because the Bears have this, like, it's just been this way with the Bears this year. They can lose games like this, and would I be shocked to lose games like this? No, I really wouldn't. But Caleb Williams, it looks like he's playing a lot better. Sure, you can make an argument that they probably shouldn't have won last week at Washington. That was unexpected. Did not expect them to win that game, but they did. And they kind of got Commanders kind of get them to win, but. And the Saints just feel like they can go out there and compete with anybody. Spencer Rattler's not playing that bad. Chris Olave's not playing bad. I like the team, and Alvin Kamara's not playing that bad. It's just the team not playing that bad. They're competing with anybody. That's why I have this only being an 8-point game, because I think they can compete with anybody. It looks like it's just I don't know why. It's just weird. Like, you expect the Saints to be ass, but they're not completely ass, because they always go out there, they fight with nobody, whoever they get, and then it just fell short. So I'm just gonna ride that roller coaster, and I'm gonna see that happens again. So I'm gonna go 26-18 here. Bears should be able to do enough here offensively, like I saw Caleb Williams last week. Like I saw the Bears defense last week, and definitely their special teams. If they can keep that up, I think they can. I think the Giants has a chance. This game has a chance to be an ass whooping. It might be. We'll see here. So I'm gonna go under 46.5 though. I think that's too many points. Saints offense is not the best, but they can compete against everybody. Bears offense is a little inconsistent. They throw up about 24, about around that range, 24, 23, 25 points a game. So I'm kind of leaning more towards the under in this game than under 4.5. Chicago with being favored in this game, I'm gonna lean towards it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but because Bears Saints, I think this game could get a little sloppy here. But with the Bears having the home field, being the home team in this matchup, I think that will help them out as well. Even though, like I said, Spencer Rattler, he's been playing well. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna lean towards the Bears in this one. They're the better team. They're at home. I think they should be able to take care of business here, so I'm going to go with the Bears. Alright, next we have the Dolphins playing against the Browns. I don't know, man. I think this one could go back and forth here. I haven't really made up my decision on this one, but until last night, after I was picking, before I was picking the pick show yesterday. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to please do so. But I'm gonna go with the Browns here, 23-14. I'm not trusting. Well, let's just go ahead and admit this anyway. This is my worst game of the week, just like that. And the worst game of the week was actually pretty damn hard for me to pick this week. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of entertaining games out there. But this game here, I think this game's the worst game of the week. When you just look at star with expectations, I'm just not really expecting too much of here in this one. But I'm gonna go. My gut is telling me Cleveland in this game because there's a couple of reasons prior to that. Number one, I don't trust the Dolphins in crunch time situations. I know we've seen the Miami Dolphins offense; they can score, but at the same time, I don't think the Dolphins has played a good defense like this. I don't think they played like a legitimate defense like the Cleveland Browns. Two, like I said, I don't trust them in crunch time situations. I don't trust Tua in crunch time situations. I just do not trust the Dolphins. I don't trust the play calling, the coaching. I just don't trust it at all. So that's kind of like what's leaning me towards the Browns in this one. So and plus the Browns, they actually shown some offense. Well, not last week. They only threw up 9 points last week, but they're playing against a good defense. This week they're playing against one of the worst defenses, specifically one of the worst rush defenses in all of football. So I actually do think Cleveland can actually put up some points on the board in this game, and I think that's what's gonna. To me, that's what Cleveland's game plan is. They're gonna have to run the football. They run the football, I think they'll be just okay in this game. So that's kind of me, like Jordan. I think so. Just those two alone, I think it's just me leading me just go towards Cleveland. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Under 39.5. Actually, I know that's when you look at that line, I was like, oh my god, that's way too low. But I'm actually sticking with it. I actually feel good about it. I'm gonna take the under in that game. Cleveland minus 2.5. I mean, it could be a little risky, but at the end of the day, like I said here, I'm going to go with the Browns in this game, just simply because of their defense, and I think they're better. Well, not that they're better. I'm just going to say that I don't trust them about offense at all in crunch time situations here. So I think Cleveland edges them out, get their second win of the season here. Battle between 1 and 5 teams. Now you guys know why it's the worst game of the week. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Browns to take care of business at home and get their second win of the year. Next up, we got the Patriots and the Titans here. I think this is a clear, easy win here for the Patriots. I'm gonna go 28-13. Listen, the Patriots. Not only did they come off, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe the last win. It was impressive. Don't know how to describe it, but the Patriots, they look like a team that's just playing with full confidence right now. A team that's just. I just don't know. The Patriots, they're just playing an unreal confidence level right now. They look like they're cruising through everybody. And just because of that and how Tennessee looks terrible, they look, let's be honest, they look terrible against the Raiders. But let's just call it what this is. This is my ass beating of the week, which is kind of funny because the NFL last week I didn't think we really seen any ass beatings last week. But if I had to choose, this would be my ass beating of the week here. I'll go 28-13. Patriots. Like I said, it's a team that's playing with confidence. Drake May's playing well. The whole offense is playing well. Defense has started picking up. Like the Patriots look like I'm not gonna say a complete team, but I'm gonna say a well organized team. That's what I'm gonna say for the Patriots. Not complete, but they're organized. They're organized as hell. And then Tennessee, I don't know what's going on with Tennessee right now. Listen, they look terrible. Now, here's the funny thing. I almost picked Tennessee to beat the Raiders last week. I almost did it because I said because the Raiders at the same time, like last week, I said okay, the Raiders are almost bad enough to lose to the Titans. So I was thinking about doing it, but I didn't do it. I'm glad I didn't do it because their offense looked like shit. Cam Ward looked terrible. The offense looked terrible. Now their defense did okay. I mean, they only allowed 20 points, but besides that, I just didn't really see anything from the team. I don't think they necessarily really looked that good here. So. It's just hard to pick Tennessee right now. Even at home, it's just really hard picking that Tennessee Titans team right now at the moment. I just have no faith in them. So we're going to go 20-13. I think Patriots, they should be able to come on the road, take care of business here, and move on. Business trip that game. Mike Vrabel reverting to revenge game. I hope he gets it. I think he will get it. And yeah, the team that fired him a couple years ago. So I think all the lines here should lean towards the Patriots. So over 42.5. I think we're pretty good about that. I think the Patriots are going to score majority of those points like I have here. And then Patriots minus 7.5. You could look at that spread and say that's a little bit too much, but I'm all for it. I'm gonna take the Patriots here. They should be able to take care of business here. Not really too much of a concerning thing about this game here, but I do think the Patriots win this game outright. Oh boy, the Chiefs are looking hot again. They're going to be at home playing against the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. I gotta take the Chiefs here. I just feel like I have to. Now here's a crazy trend with this game. Raiders have actually done a pretty sneaky job of hanging around with KC. As the trends go throughout the years, if you guys look at the last couple games, the Raiders have actually competed to the end, and they actually one time I think it was Black Friday, they went in here and won the game. But man, it's not going to happen here. I got the Chiefs winning here 33-20. I think there's going to be kind of a higher scoring game here. But no, I just together, not just me saying that the Chiefs are the better team than the Raiders, because they are, but the Chiefs, like their offense has Rashee Rice back, and with all like 6 pass catchers that the Chiefs have available to them, and they're pretty much all consistent. I don't think the Raiders are going to have I don't think the Raiders secondary, and I just don't think they're going to have enough to keep up with all these Chiefs weapons, man. They have so many weapons on the field. Travis Kelce's doing whatever he can. They got, like I said earlier, they got Rashee Rice back. That's going to be a major boost up for him, who I have on my fantasy team. So I'm kind of rooting for him to have a big day. I think he will in his return. I'm just not playing Georgia Vegas here. I don't have a reason. I specifically do not have a reason to pick Vegas here. I really don't. Chiefs last week looked like the Chiefs again over the win over Detroit. That was an impressive win over Detroit. I will give you that. Sunday Night Football in the house, and they protected them. They protected the house. They look fantastic during that. Raiders, even though they won against Tennessee last week, look a little sloppy against Tennessee. So I just can't pick. I can't pick the Raiders here. I just can't do it. Playing against a red hot Chiefs team in their house. Now, when I looked at the line was like 11.5, 12.5. I said normally you guys would say like I'm done picking big spreads. Like if it's a big spread, I'm done with it. I'm not taking it, but it just feels like in this game, like I just have to take it, but I do have to monitor some interest. But here's where I'm going to go with the line for this game. If Brock Bowers is out, right? If Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers is out, I'm going to take the Chiefs with the spread, because I do think they should be able to cover that 11.5, basically how the way they're playing. But I think Brock Bowers is going to be out. I do think Jacoby Myers, he's questionable, but I think he's going to lean toward being out too. So if those two hold up to what it is, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to cover that. But if both players somehow ended up playing, I'm gonna take the Raiders with the plus 11.5 if the line stays there. So that's kind of like my direction with that. And then over 45.5, I feel actually pretty good about. Like I said, I'm not gonna give the Raiders to only get beat by 13 here. Like I said, they've known the history. They can compete with KC, but this time I think it's just gonna be a hard assignment for them. Especially with if like I said, there's no Brock Bowers, which I'm kind of predicting right now. There's no Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers. Even though Ashton Jeanty looks great right now, but I just can't trust them as a defense and hold to really slow down the KC Chiefs here. So yeah, Chiefs are fired up. They're back at home. I think they play well, and I think they get the job done here at home. Alrighty, next time I'm feeling the upset here. I'm actually feeling the upset here. We got the Eagles taking on against the Minnesota Vikings here. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here, 24-23. As you guys can know, this is my 1-point game of the week. That's right, this is my 1-point game of the week here. Give me Minnesota here. I'm going to take it 24-23. Now, you can look at that and say, oh my god, why the hell am I taking the Vikings? Here's a couple things to reason. One, you guys know that I do not like picking against the Vikings in the bank. You guys do not know. You guys know that. You guys know better. If you guys have been here for long in the channel, you guys do know that I do not like picking against the Vikings in the bank. I don't like it. I think the Vikings I think playing in the bank is one of the hardest things to play in the entire NFL. And even though this Eagles team, I think they're good. They still have the same roster, so you would think they were good. But they've been a little off these last couple of weeks. And now you got to go on the road. You got to play against a team that's coming off a bye on the road too. Like I'm feeling the upset here. I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I know this is risky because now if the Eagles do have a bounce back game or like a get right game, this is the game they're gonna have because Minnesota's actually been inconsistent too. I know they're coming off a bye, but Minnesota. Let's be honest here. I think I talked about this in my video a couple days ago when I ranked every single NFL team about the performance so far this year. Minnesota looks like a team that's well rostered, but it's inconsistent at everything they do. Like, if defense is on one page, the defense is shit, the offense is wrong. If the offense is wrong, the defense is on the roll. So, I just don't know what's going on with the Vikings. They just seem too inconsistent here, but I'm going to take them here. 24-23. Let's say if the Eagles didn't look like that slugfest last week over the Giants, and the Eagles probably do have an advantage because they're coming off a rest here. Eagles have a 10-day rest, but at the same time, the Vikings are coming off a bye too. So I do think they will be just fine in this one. If I'm not mistaken, they're coming off a bye. Let me double check and see. But I do think they are coming off a bye. They're at home in this game. Like I think everything is just leaning towards the Vikings in this one. But if the Eagles do indeed get a bounce back game or a get right game, I think this will be a game to get it. So I wouldn't be surprised about the outcome here. Would not be that mad if I get this pick wrong here, but yeah, I'm going to lean towards Minnesota by plus 1.5. Don't need to explain about that. And an over 43.5. I was kind of going back and forth with this one. I was really thinking about it, but I'm going to lean towards the over. Probably because I'm probably expecting a little bit more offense in this one than defense. So that's kind of my reasoning why I decided to go with the over in that one. But I don't know. That would go either way. Pick who you want to there. Go either way. But at the end of the day, I do think this is going to be a great game. But I'm actually going to lean towards the upset in this one. I'm going to take Minnesota. I just don't know how the Eagles secondary is going to take care of the Minnesota's front receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jordan Naylor. I just don't know how they're going to play T.J. Hopkins. I just don't know how they're going to go around that. And Minnesota's defense and especially the secondary has looked pretty decent this year. So yeah, we're going to lean towards the Eagles this one. I'm taking the risk. Next up, Panthers at the Jets here. I think this is going to be a 2-point game here. I got 26-24. I am going to lean towards the Panthers in this game. Listen, the Panthers have actually been playing well. I think like I said in a video a couple days ago and in the pick show, I think the Panthers are a pretty decent football team right now. I don't think they're the best in the world. I don't think they're playoff contenders yet, but they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. I see signs of improvement for the Panthers, especially over these last couple weeks. You know, they won 2 of their last 3 games. So their offense looks good. I think they can get it done here. I know they're up. Now here's a trap game. This game is also everything that we have to line for trap game. That is this game. This game is a trap game. And for multiple reasons too. One, the Panthers are terrible on the road. When I mean terrible, I mean terrible. The Panthers are one of the worst teams in football on the road. Two, they just get smashed on the road. Like, we just look at their road games. They just been terrible on the road. And 3, Bryce Young typically does not play well on the road. But if this game was in Carolina, I would definitely feel 10 times better about this pick. I really would. I would go Panthers no matter what. Guarantee going Panthers, right? But it's in the Jets. And I know the Jets are not wearing black this week. I put the Jets in black because I had to make it up for another week. But yeah, the Jets. I just can't pick the Jets right now. They're too damn bad. Like, the Jets are so bad that I can't even pick them. Their defense is terrible. They probably have one of the most missed tackle teams in the NFL. I just don't trust. I don't trust the Jets. I mean, especially coming off of a very, very winnable game last week in London, and they ended up losing to the Broncos. Like, if you can't win that, what games can you win? That's the thing that just kind of go me with the Jets. Like, if you can't win that game in London, when you have many of opportunities to do it, like I said, you had many opportunities to beat the Broncos last week, and if you can't get that win, which ones are you going to win? Like, the Jets, they're arguably one of the worst football teams. Matter of fact, I think the Jets are the worst football team. I mean, they are because they haven't won a game. They're the only team that hasn't won a game yet. But I think the Panthers, even though they are bad at home, I think the Jets are really that bad enough for them to lose this game here. So I'm going to take the Panthers here. I'm not too comfortable about this pick. I mean, I could be wrong because the Jets are kind of due for a win. If I could see them winning a game, I could see them winning this game. But yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the Panthers and one the better team here. They did take care of business here, but this just has the trap game scenario all over. Over 41.5, I feel pretty good about that. Carolina -1.5. Rico Dowdle's playing well. I Trevor Hubbard might come back, but I don't think matter. Garrett Wilson's out for this game. I think that's another huge factor about this game. Without him, I don't think the offense is going to do that well. So, leaning towards the Panthers, everything -1.5. Not surprising to see the Panthers only favored by 1.5 here, but at the end of the day, I do think they get the job done. They're better than the Jets. Next up, we got to go to the altitude as the Broncos playing against the New York Jets here. This game is suspicious. I'm gonna tell you right now, this game is suspicious here. But I am gonna take the Broncos to win this game 23-17, and for a couple of reasons here. One, I think the Giants can compete with Denver. I do believe that. I think they can get defeated with Denver. These two teams are really good on defense. But Denver's defense is really good, and I've actually been pleased with the Giants' defense ever since I saw last week's game against the Philadelphia Eagles, who they just mollywopped. Actually, their defense looked great in that game, and I give them all applause to the Giants for that. Their defense played well. I thought they played excellent. Denver's been playing well too. Like I said, you could say that they're a little overwhelming because what the wins they got this year. But I think I think this team is better than what the record shows. So I'm going to lean towards the Broncos in this game. I think their defense picks lights. I'm kind of expecting this one to be a defensive war. That's kind of why I'm leaning towards the under in this game, because it's both defenses playing really well in this game, and I think both defenses will play about similar level type worth. So that's kind of my reason. I like what I saw from Scottaboo last week. I love what I saw from Jackson Dart and his ability to do, but I don't know how he's going to do against that Denver defense. I don't know how he's going to do in the altitude playing against that defense. And if the Broncos were to win this game, their offense has to pick it up. Like I said, they're kind of like the Rams right now. Their offense, they have to pick it up. But this is a game that I can see them picking up. It's like I said, it's in the altitude. It's in Denver, so I'm not going to get too crazy here. So I'm going to go with I can see the Giants winning. Actually, I can see it, but I just don't. Especially coming off a win against Philadelphia. But that was at home. This time, like I said, you're going into the altitude. I do not know how that's going to turn out for you. So I'm going to take the Broncos in this game. It's not the easiest pick in the world. You might think it is, but it's not the easiest pick in the world here. I'm going to take the Broncos here. I'm not too comfortable about it, but we're going to take them over 40.5, and I'm definitely going to take the Giants with the points. Plus 7.5, I think that's too much. Broncos have been too inconsistent for me to pick them with that spread here. So I do think the Giants will cover that. That's why I only got them losing by 6. I think they will cover that, but at the end of the day, I'm not expecting them to win the game here. So, man, this one was just a tough one to pick here. But at the end of the day, like I said, Broncos in the altitude at home should be able to take care of business here. But if the Giants do win, I'm actually not going to be too surprised about it. Oh man, we have a good one here between the Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. I can't wait to see the Chargers in the yellow uniforms. I just want to see how I just want to see how they look, because in the NFL you just don't see too many yellow uniforms, and I think it looks great. But anyway, in this game, I think this game has all the potential for probably one of the better games in all of football this year. Chargers are dealing with a little bit of injuries overall. We talk about receiver Junkins could be out. Who's his name? Quentin, whoever receiver, he's going to be out. I think Chargers got some injuries. Got an offensive lineman injury. They got the defensive injuries. Now I did hear that Mack might come back, but I'm not sure about that. We're not confirming anything here. And the Colts, they've just been balling out. They've been balling out. They've probably been one of the better teams in all of football. They are probably a top 3 team in the NFL right now, which is literally nobody expecting them to be that way. And let's go ahead and call it what this is. This is my trickiest game of the week. It's not the best game of the week because another game just had to jump over them by a little bit here for the best game of the week, but this is by far the trickiest game of the week. If I wasn't giving this the best game of the week, it would definitely be the trickiest game of the week for me to pick. And this game was tricky for me to pick. If both teams were fully healthy here, I would go with the Chargers because it's in LA. But at the same time, like I don't know how you can pick against the Colts right now. I just don't see how you can do it. Jonathan Taylor's playing absolutely out of his mind right now. Daniel Jones is playing out of his mind. The Colts receiver playing out of that. Now Josh Downs could be questionable for this game, but I also like what I see from Michael Pittman. Their defense is coming up in spots. Isn't the most consistent defense in the world? No, but will it get the job done? Yes. I just gotta go with the Colts. I love what I'm seeing from this Colts team. It looks like they can do a lot of things on both sides of the ball here. I'm just leaning Colts. I'm going to go 30-27. I'm going to say this game is a shootout. I think it should be a shootout. Both teams will score some points in this one. I'm very comfortable about taking the over in this game. 48.5. I am for sure taking the over, and I'm actually guaranteeing that. I am very comfortable about that. And then Indy plus 1.5, like I said, the only reason you're taking Indy for that, if you have Indy winning the game, and that's why I have to do. That's what I'm doing here. Is I have Indy winning the game here, plus 1.5. I don't know. This one could go either way. I would not be surprised. I'm not gonna be mad if I get this pick wrong here, because I think the Chargers are a good enough team to beat the Colts. And remember, the Colts, when the early loss came in, it came at SoFi Stadium when they played my Rams. So now they have to go there again and playing against the opposite foe. So we'll see if things get a little bit interesting here. Justin Herbert should ball out. The offense from everybody should ball out. Not expecting too much defense here. Expect this one to be an offensive showcase, but I am, at the end of the day, going to pick the Colts to come out here and get a win. This team looks so impressive this year. Like I said, they're just like the Buccaneers. It's really hard to pick against them. We'll get to the Bucs here in just a few moments, but like I said, pretty close, entertaining game here, but I'm going to lean towards the Colts. Next up, we got the Commanders going into Dallas. Definitely did not like what I saw in Washington last week. Their offense looked too inconsistent. Their defense gave a lot of big plays. But I think they're better than Dallas. Come on, I think they're better than Dallas. Even though Dallas are wearing those white uniforms, which, hey, listen, if they do that, you gotta watch it, because Dallas, it's not so often that they'll wear the uniforms. But anyway, in this game here, I gotta take Washington 34-31. This game's gonna be a shootout. I think we all know Washington's defense has seen some holes. Dallas's offense is one of the best in football, so they're gonna throw up points. And then you look at the Commanders, even though they're not the most consistent offense in the world, they're going to throw up points, because Dallas defense is shit, like completely shit. Like they're terrible. So when you look at that game, okay, like you're obviously going to think of like this game as a shootout game. But the question is, who do I trust more here? Do I trust Dallas' defense more, or do I trust the Commanders' offense more? My answer is Washington's offense, even though they've been a little bit more inconsistent, and I completely agree. I do agree. The Commanders' offense has been a little inconsistent this year, but at the same time, I'm not trusting Dallas' defense. Hell no, I'm not trusting that defense. Hell no. That defense is obviously one of the worst in football right now, probably one of the worst in the league. Washington, I just feel like they should be able to do enough. Even if they have to win by field goal, shit, no matter how they get the win, they should be able to get the win here. That's just my kind of explanation for this game. Like whatever the Dallas do, whatever Dallas does, I'm kind of expecting Washington to do better. Now I can see Dallas win this game, because if you guys haven't followed the trends, actually Dallas has actually been winning against Washington. Like they haven't been winning a lot, but if they do win, it's against Washington that they win again. So that part of me is like, don't be surprised if you see Dallas win this game, but at the end of the day, I think Washington's the better team in the first place. Now we do have to watch out for Debo and Terry. We'll see if they're playing or not. But last time I checked, they're both questionable, and I kind of expect them both to be playing in this one. So that's kind of my pick here. But I wonder how CeeDee Lamb's injury is doing for Dallas. We'll continue to monitor that after the week. I'm not expecting to play this week, but I do think it's going to return eventually. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards Washington in this game. Being more healthier team, I believe going in. Dallas' defense, I do not trust at all. So I'm going to lean toward Washington this game. Over 54.5, I feel pretty good about that. I'm not going to guarantee it, because 54.5 is a little scary, but both teams are kind of iffy on defense, so I would do that. And then Washington minus 1.5. Don't need to explain about that. But anyway, I'm kind of expecting a close game here, shootout game here. But at the end of the day, I'm going to lean towards the Commanders. Now, people could say you lean towards Dallas if you don't think Washington's offense can hang up with Dallas' defense, or maybe Dallas' offense, or keep up. And I think that's fair, but I think the Commanders are the better team, so I'm going to take them here. Next up, Packers at Cardinals here. I have to do it. I gotta pick the Packers here. I don't have a reason to pick Arizona here. I don't really have a reason to. But even though Arizona's defense, I believe Arizona's defense is solid. Now, did it look solid last week against the Colts? No, but I'll give them credit, because they're playing against one of the best offensive teams in all of football. This was tough, man. This was another one I had to go back and forth with. It was just a battle for me to pick this one, but I'm going to lean towards the Cardinals here. I think they win it 28-20. I think this one could go either way. Honestly, I think this one could go either way. Cardinals are pretty decent at home. Packers, if they do lose, it's on the road that they lose in, and it's a struggle. But the Packers do have their moments on the road. They have their moments, but the Packers are the better team here. They're the better team. I know they're on the road playing against a pretty good defense in the Cardinals, who I actually been impressed with this year, but at the same time, the Cardinals got some questions. We don't even know who's starting at quarterback. We don't know if Kyler Murray's going to be back in Atlanta. We don't know. It's just a lot of uncertainty with Arizona right now. We don't know who's going to start at quarterback. We don't know if Kyler Murray's back. We don't know if they're going to roll with Jacoby Brissett. If they're thinking about starting Jacoby Brissett over Kyler Murray, which I don't think it would be the worst idea if they even did that. There's just a lot of questions going on with Arizona right now. A lot of questions. At the end of the day, I just believe that the Cardinals should be able to get the job done here. Should be. No, not the Cardinals. The Packers. Excuse me. I believe at the end of the day, I do believe the Packers should be able to get the job done here. They have enough weapons. Jordan Love, I saw from him last week. Josh Jacobs is playing really well. Packers are playing really well as a team right now. Would love to see Romeo Doubs get going for my fantasy team here. So I'm going to take the Packers here 28-20. I think this game would be close. I think Arizona can't compete. Let's say if they compete with the Colts last week, I'm pretty sure they can compete with the Packers. But at the end of the day, the better team's going to win here, and that's the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to take the over 44.5, and I'm actually feeling confident about that. Not like I said, not going to guarantee anything here, but I do think that is the safer bet in my opinion. And then I think the line was too low for this game. When I first looked at this game, like 6.5, I thought the spread was going to be like 10.5, maybe 9.5, because people might think like I thought Vegas was going to think like, okay, Green Bay is just significantly the better team here, and I can see it, but man, okay, I just gotta go with I just gotta go with the Packers, man. I absolutely have no reason at all to pick the Cardinals here. It's a tough one. But there's a lot of Cardinals uncertainties, offense uncertainties, offensive banged up. Even though they're at home, kind of gotta go with the Packers here. They're the better team in this matchup. Therefore, they should win the game. Oh boy, next up we got the Falcons playing against the San Francisco 49ers. Listen here, first thing I looked about this game, I was thinking about, holy shit. I don't know who to pick here. I actually really didn't. First going into this week, I had no idea who to pick. I had no idea who I'm going to go with here. But at the end of the day here, I'm gonna lean toward Atlanta on this one. I think they win at 27-21. I don't know how much longer San Francisco can deal with these injuries. And the only reason why I said that is because they are winning games. Don't give them credit. I'll give them credit where it's due, even though I'm a rival of them. But I'll give them credit. They're winning games without their guys, right? And that's impressive that you do that in the NFL. You win with your backups. That's impressive. But at the end of the day, you in the last game, you lost Fred Warner, which is a really big deal of your defense. I don't know how. Plus, your schedule is getting heavier and heavier and heavier after this week. So, I know San Francisco's schedule is kind of a cheesecake. So, so I'm like, why do you pick San Francisco in this game? Why are you picking it? Why are you picking a team that's completely depleted? And you said because they find a way to win. They win. They got the coaching. They got the talent. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair argument. But here in this game here, like I said, losing Fred Warner is a big deal. You're already without Nick Bosa here. I just feel like I have to pick Atlanta here. Especially coming off Atlanta. I know Tampa Bay. I know San Francisco battled really hard with Tampa Bay last week. It's just unfortunate they couldn't get the win. But Atlanta's coming off a really good win against the Bills, and that really stood out to me. Because first, I mean, I was expecting them to compete, but I did not expect them to win, and they won that game, which is impressive. But now they have to go back on the road. There's back-to-back prime times for them, so this is going to get a little tricky here. But I believe them. I think they can. I think they can find a way to win this game. I think Atlanta's the more healthier team. Like I said this against the Rams, and then we ended up losing. That loss still pisses me off a little bit. But this game here, I gotta go with the Falcons here. I'm gonna go 27-21 here. I think Michael Penix does enough. Bijan Robinson looks like this running back matchup is really phenomenal. Bijan Robinson versus Christian McCaffrey. That's gonna be really fun, exciting to watch. And I think Atlanta has more of the receiver depth there. I don't know about Ricky Parcell and Juwan Jennings. We'll continue to monitor that, but I think they're both going to be out still. George Kittle's still working on his way out. I just don't know how the injuries are going to keep up with San Francisco. I'm not really expecting San Francisco to win a lot more games, especially with their injuries. But if they continue with this trend, with the injury trend, I just don't know. I don't know how much more longer that they can continue to walk away with this. So I'm going to lean towards Atlanta in this game. Like I said, San Francisco's going to fight, and that's why I had 27-21. I do believe they will keep it close no matter what. Mac Jones is playing good enough to win. Mac Jones is playing good enough for them to win NFL games, but I got to go with the Falcons here, especially coming off an impressive win. Them being the more powered roster team right now at the moment, I just have to take them here. Over 47.5. I mean, that one could go either way. I can see it being a defensive game. San Francisco defense somehow does enough. It's hard picking the over during this game. I'm going to lean towards the over. And then plus 1.5. Like I said, the only reason you're taking that if you have Atlanta winning the game, like I do here, is not have Atlanta winning the game. This is a tricky game to pick here. The game is just tricky. Like I said, it could go either way. And there's legitimate arguments for both teams. You can take Atlanta because they look good offensively. They won against Buffalo, and you can take San Francisco because they can win regardless of their injuries, and it's just impressive in general. So you can argue for both ways here. But at the end of the day, I'm going to lean towards the Falcons here. But it's definitely not the pick I would guarantee and stuff like that, just because how San Francisco's coaching is. So, man, this was a tough one. I'm going to lean towards the Falcons here Sunday Night Football, but I could be wrong. Now we have this stupid ass Monday night doubleheader again. Who the hell's keep doing this? I don't know, but they need to quit. Well, yeah. Actually, I was going to say just kidding, but I'm actually with it. But anyway, the first one here, we got Tampa Bay at Detroit. I'm gonna take the Lions here, 30-28. Like I said, and then like I said, there's a lot of things that's going on with this game here. Number one, you can't pick against Baker Mayfield right now. I know that you cannot pick against Baker Mayfield. You just cannot do it right now. He's probably the NFL MVP right now, but at the same time, he's missing so many damn receivers. He's missing Aduka. He's missing Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. We'll see. He's questionable. I actually do kind of expect him to play in this one, so we will see. Another good fantasy hit for my fantasy team, just in case he does play, but. Tampa Bay, they're just dealing with so many injuries, man. Like, I don't know. They're kind of like the Niners. Like, I don't know how they can keep getting away with winning football games. And especially going to Detroit on Monday Night Football when you know they're going to be pissed off because you just lost against the Chiefs. Of course, when you lose against the Chiefs, you're going to be pissed off about it. And they're at home. They're wearing those black uniforms. That means something. When the Lions wear those black uniforms, it means something. And Lions have actually been, I think the Lions are undefeated wearing those black uniforms. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to take Detroit in this game. The black uniforms, Monday Night Football, in their house. If this game was in Tampa Bay, I would go 100% with the Buccaneers. If this game was in Tampa Bay, we're going that way. We're going the opposite way, no question. But with this game being in Detroit, knowing the offensive weapons that they got, knowing that I kind of expect this team to be pissed, I think they're going to get the job done here. But like I said, this one could go either way. Pick who you want to here. This is basically a boxing match. It's a free-for-all game here. But anyway, oh yeah, I forgot to admit it. This is the best game of the week, by the way. Just to let you go ahead and admit it, because I think everybody's gonna agree with me here. Tampa Bay plus 5.5. Yeah, I actually guarantee that. Bet that. Whatever. If Tampa Bay loses the game, they're losing by 1, 2, or 3 points. They're not losing. They're not gonna get their ass kicked in this game. Detroit's not winning by a damn near a touchdown. I would guarantee you that. So take the Buccaneers with the spread. Take the Buccaneers with the points. As a favorite bet, I'll actually bet on that. Actually, that's guaranteed. And actually, the spread and the over was actually pretty easy to pick this week because, and you look at it, it's 52.5. You might take this a little suspicious, but I just feel like you have to take it. I would bet that, put money on it. I would do it too. Just put the over on it because we already know this is going to be a high scoring shootout. So you might as well just go ahead and do it, right? But anyway, with Baker Mayfield, like I said earlier, he's playing like an MVP type level right now. He is playing. He is my NFL MVP. But I just think this is one of those games that you're going to need the weapons to win. Like you're going to need your receivers. You're going to need your defense. Now Detroit is kind of baked up on defense too, minus the Brian Branch. Plus the Brian Branch suspension. He's only been suspended from one game. Kobe Joseph is kind of hurt, so. We will see about that, but like I said, this is for Buccaneers. This is the game you're going to need your receivers, and they're not going to have them for it. Amon St. Brown should be able to take care of this pass rush defense for Tampa Bay. No, you can't run the ball because Tampa Bay's actually pretty good running the ball. You have to pass the ball, and Jared Goff has been pretty damn good at doing that this year. So Sunday Night Football. If this game, like I said, this game was in Tampa Bay. I will go with the Bucs, but it's in Detroit. We'll go with the Lions because don't go over here. We'll go with the home team. I hate picking against the Bucs right now because they look like the best team in the NFL right now. But I'm leaning towards Detroit. Monday Night Football, black uniforms in their house. I'm gonna take them, but pick who you want to. Could go either way. And last but not least here, Monday Night Football between the Texans and the Seahawks. I'm going to lean towards Seattle here, 21-17. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me, 21-17. I think this game is going to be a defensive game. I'm actually, in this game, I'm not expecting too much offense here. I mean, honest, Houston's defense is one of the best in football this year. Same thing and Seattle's been a little sneaky on defense too. And also, Houston's offense has been absolutely horrible this year. I know. Wait, is Houston coming off a bye? I think ain't Houston coming off a bye? I think they are. But anyway, here, Seattle Seattle looks like a legitimate team. Like, I'm not gonna say a legitimate team, but it looks like a good team. It looks like a great team. But anyway, here I got this game being played in Seattle. The way how the Houston Texans offense has been all season, you just feel like you have to ride with them, right? You just feel like you have to ride with them. They're the better team. They're at home in this game. This game was in Houston. I probably would go Houston here, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. If this game was in Houston, I probably would take the Seahawks anyway, but I don't know. This one's actually harder than you guys may think it is. Like, Houston's coming off a bye, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think they're coming off a bye. Seattle's coming off a tough win. Like, I can see Houston winning this game. Maybe they figured something out off the bye, but it could be a little sneaky here. But like I said, I don't trust Houston's offense. I still don't. I think Houston's offense is still one of the worst in football. I know Seattle can move the football. I know they can be consistent in football. Sam Donald's been playing really well. Cooper Cousins looks like he's been more active as of late in the offense. Like what I saw Jackson's been Nick Butt. It's still Houston. Still like what I've seen from Mike Evans. Don't like what I've seen from C.J. Stroud. The defense is just questionable for me for Houston. It's just questionable. That's kind of like my other reason going to Seattle here, because I just don't trust Houston's defense. I don't trust their offense. I trust their defense, but I don't trust their offense. If you want to beat teams like Seattle in Seattle, I think your offense needs to pick it up. It just feels like for your Seattle games, if you want to beat them, you have to contain them offensively, not defensively, because they can have them marked sometimes, but you have to contain them offensively. And even though I do count on Houston's defense, they can do that, but I overall, on the other side of the ball, when we look at both sides of the ball, Houston's offense versus Seattle's defense, I think Seattle's defense win that one at a significant margin, especially without Tank and all those guys. So like I said, building advantage here is leading me towards Seattle, but I can see this being a game. I'm predicting a 4-point game here, so meaning I don't think anybody's going to get their ass whooped in this one. I think it's going to be entertaining, close, defensive war here. Now I can see this game being an offensive showcase too, but at the same time, like I said, I don't trust in either one of these offenses. I mean, I trust Seattle's offense way more than I do Houston, but like to actually rack up points, I don't know. I don't trust any team doing that. So I think under 41.5 is a pretty good take here. I can see that one being over. I wouldn't bet on that anything because, like I said, both scenarios could be true. But I'm going to lean towards the under in this game. Take Seattle with the points. Minus 3.5. That's too small for me to pick Houston. But if Seattle was favored by like 6.5, 7, I would probably take Houston with that, and I'll actually probably bet on that. But anyway, here Monday Night Football should be a pretty entertaining game here. But at the end of the day, I think Seattle's the better team. They're the more consistent team. They have the better offense, in my opinion, which I do think this game is what it's going to come down to. So I will take Seattle in this game, 21-17. Like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like, subscribe button for it. I do appreciate y'all support here. We're going to be back here with this video next week. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys go check out our power ranking, stuff like that from our videos before. Have a lot of videos coming out this weekend, so make sure you guys stay tuned for all those. So appreciate everybody's support here. This has been BigNation.com. Peace out. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.